So, I wanted to make a video on my thoughts on basically the afterlife and the universe. Let me clean that there. So, basically, I was thinking about the origins of life, the universe, and everything, and I've come to the conclusion that there is a greater understanding that we're not aware of. And what that is I believe that the universe is conscious. Basically, what Nikola Tesla believed, and how that theory works is you can actually see it in evolution. It's the Y factor. So, for example, if you think about what is the meaning of life, and why does life itself want to exist? Like let's take something like a virus. It's technically living, it's not living. It will suck the life off another form of life just so it can have its moment of glory, right? So why is that? Even if you say, I just don't understand the whole order coming from chaos thing. To me, I believe the problem is we're looking for God or whatever you want to call it in a third dimension. It's like 2D Mario trying to understand 3D Mario. We're using 3D instruments and trying to look at a fifth dimension. In order to truly experience this, you have to reach a higher level of conscience. And then, when you think about the afterlife, there was a study done showing that I think it was around 40% of people who had near-death experiences had some recollection of recalling something. And what they recall is always similar. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're on, or these people were on when they died. They always seen like the tunnel, right? You have the light at the end of the tunnel. And then they'd see like relatives. And they always had like the same, really similar experiences. And then you get these atheist scientists that are like, oh, they're just hallucinating. But when you think about a drug like LSD or something, like acid, peyote, you never have the same trip. It's always different. So if these people who are having near-death experiences having the same thing, doesn't that mean if there's two people that have the same experience, that would mean it has a better chance of actually being real? Like, that's a place that actually exists in a higher dimension. Like, if you go on vacation, let's say you go to Egypt or you go to Europe or something, and you see the same thing, and you talk about that experience, and you had the same things you recalled, right? And that's what it's like when people have near-death experiences. And another thing is, even if let's talk about evolution. Where did the blueprint to start evolution come from? It's like, the fact is, what's the meaning of life, the theory of everything? Like, why? The way I look at it is like, what's life? What's the point of having a universe if there's nothing to analyze it? So I feel like that question of what's the point, that right there is, intelligent design. That's a thought of intelligence. And like thinking about how RNA naturally wants to evolve into DNA. And they just tell you, oh, it's natural selection. Then if everything's just random chaos, if order came out of chaos, then why does it care? Why does a mosquito want to live? Why does a lab rat want to live? Why does everything want to live? I believe that and maybe someday there's already scientists talking about this stuff. Maybe someday it'll actually be scientifically proven. Maybe if they're using the Large Hadron Collider or something even better in the future, like maybe some trippy thing they have in space, that could detect this conscience. They'll slap the face of God and he'll slap back, and then they'll be able to communicate with it. Who knows? This is like scientific shit, right? Science fiction kind of theories, but and that's another thing, is we think that we know all the answers when we're just getting started. We just sent a man to the moon only 50 years ago, and we've only had electricity, like actual electricity, for a little over 100 years now, and we act like we have all the answers using basic instruments in a third dimension. I think when we start like creating black holes and opening up portals, who knows, maybe in Area 51 they already know so much more, like these top secret bases. They could already be doing this shit that I'm talking about. Like that movie or that TV show Stranger Things, if you've ever watched it. Great show, by the way. Definitely recommend it if you're a trans-dimensional kind of person, you know? And I just, the whole thing, atheism to me just sounds stupid when you think about, oh yeah, we're just a freak accident. That's why, everything wants to live and cares so much and constantly evolving and changing. Like, I believe, this is what I believe, that the universe itself is conscious. It's like, it's aware of itself. But the problem is, the universe knows everything. And when you know everything, how can you learn something new? Because when people talk about these, when they have outer body experiences when they die, right? They talk about how they basically no longer had logic. They just knew everything. When they thought, they would be there. Whatever they wanted was there. They just were pure energy and pure knowing. So what's the point of life? Well, if you put yourself in a simulation, like a free will test, where you have to be challenged, and like why they say, why do bad things happen to good people? Because it's part of the simulation that life is. I believe we are like the conscious universe, like God or whatever you want to call him, sent down in this like consciousness, manipulated and created this simulation of evolution itself, the universe itself, and then evolved, and then throughout time things would continuously get better and better and evolve, and that's why things evolve and want to get better, because there's just like this higher dimensional field of conscience that we don't understand yet, that is manipulating everything, and it keeps evolving to eventually it got to where we are, questioning our own existence. Conscience is now questioning itself. That's what a human being is, basically. We're conscience questioning itself. So like, I think the point of it, there's also this story about a guy who was about to be in a plane crash. His plane lost control, but they regained control right before they hit the ground. But he said as he was on his way to die, like crashing down, he had this weird flashback thing happen where it's like all his memories were transferring to the other side. Maybe the whole point of life is, like, especially human life, or just all life, just higher levels of conscience that was manipulated through a long process of evolution. Maybe the whole point of especially human life is to basically make new discoveries, because conscience is curious. We're curious. We are conscience. Conscience itself is curious and it wants to learn more. But if it already knows everything there is to know, then it has to create its own simulation to challenge itself. And through each challenge, that's a new discovery. So what's the meaning of life? The meaning of life is to be challenged and make new discovery so you can pass that on to the ever so curious universe. And religions too, all these different religions, they're just theories on this topic. This whole, what is God? What is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of being? It's just, for thousands of years, people have, because we're smart, you don't see any other animals starting religion because they're not as smart. They just, like take this cat, for example. He's cool and he's got a lot of personality, but deep down, I doubt he's questioning his own existence right now. I doubt he's just like, I wonder what is the meaning of this cat like. All he's thinking about is, rub my belly, give me food. He's basic instinct. But human beings, our instinct is to question our own instinct, because we've evolved to that point. And that whole questioning our own instinct, questioning why we're here, is how religion started. And some religions make better points than others. Some religions are crazy and very hateful, and other religions are peaceful, and they're just... It's basically human beings are too smart for our own good. But I hate when you get these, like, globalist astards that are like, we are cancer, we're the Earth's cancer. If we're cancer, then why did evolution allow us to happen? If the Earth, we came out of the Earth. The Earth wants us, obviously, to say we're cancer. Then why did the Earth make us, or the conscience, or God, or whatever you want to call him? Why are we here then if we're cancer? But then they go, well, why is cancer here? Well, cancer is a mutation of cells. But then again, isn't that what evolution is? A mutation of cells? Yeah, but cancer dies. Cancer kills, but we die too. So the point is, we're not cancer, okay? Now, people say, oh, well, cancer kills you, and, cells basically. We're definitely different from cancer, okay? We're not cancer. Like, thinking about that, are human beings the Earth's cancer? And I don't think we are. I think the Earth made us for a reason. That's why it wants us here. And yeah, people will argue because, cancer is just a mutation in cells, and we all have cancer cells in us. But this is a different topic. We're talking about, bad biology versus evolution, Yeah, cells mutate. Cancers are mutated cells, but again, all animals can get cancer, and to say that human beings are cancer is just stupid. Like, we're not cancer. We're here for a reason. And that reason is to make new discovery and just raise conscience. To just improve conscience. To achieve a higher level of understanding. That's what it means to be human. That's why we're here. That's the meaning of life. That's the theory of everything. The universe was curious. So through a long period of time of evolution, it basically created us to reach a higher level of knowing. And we're not cancer. Don't compare mutating cells. It's like saying that if you're going to say human beings are cancer, why don't you just say human beings are HIV or something? That's just a disease. That's an illness. We're not a disease. I mean, yeah, we pollute and destroy the environment, but that's greed. I mean, that's not, and like the Earth is going to heal itself anyways. I mean, do we really have that big of an impact on it? I mean, yeah, sure. People, like the whole global warming thing, the whole global warming thing. And then it's like, oh, now it's climate change. And then they come up with this stupid carbon tax. God, I hate carbon tax. It's like, okay, so you give me no choice to pollute the environment. And now you're telling me that I'm being punished for what you gave me. This is all I got. I got gasoline and natural gas, and you're telling me that I have to be punished for it. But it was the system that supplied me with gasoline and natural gas. There's no other options. I can't afford to put a windmill. I live in an apartment. I can't have all these solar panels installed, which just don't produce the power that I need to do what I need, and I still need a car to get to work, and an electric car charging with a solar panel is just ridiculous. Carbon tax is bullshit. Okay, the Earth has been through ice ages and meteor showers and all this crazy change, and you think some small little people burning some fossil fuels is gonna stop this world? Maybe if we detonated like 100,000 atom bombs at once, we'd contaminate the Earth's landscape for a couple thousand years, but then eventually it would just blow over. And the Earth recycles itself. So we're not cancer. The Earth made us. It allowed us to evolve to this point. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this rant. Peace.